Hello, my name is Stephanie Kinnan. I am the Assistant Managing Editor of Clinical Publications for the American Society for Gastrointestinal Endoscopy, and I am joined today by Deborah Bowman. She is the Senior Managing Editor of Clinical Publications. And today we are going to talk a little bit about creating effective titles for your scientific publications. Deborah, you recently wrote an article about this for Editorial Office News. Can you just tell us a little bit about why a title is important?
Sure. A title is actually really important for your article because it's like the first advertisement, the first thing that a reader is going to see, and it's going to help him decide whether to click through to your full article. If an article is not open access, he won't even be able to see the rest of the article, and so your title and the abstract will help him decide whether to buy the article. So it's really important that the title be good and effective. Later on, if they're doing research and want to find your article again, they're going to be able to find it more quickly and more easily if you have an effective title to begin with. So if you have a good title, it's going to help you gain more citations, which is going to help an author's H index and G index, which measure author's productivity and his impact. So it's kind of like a personal impact factor, so which you should want. And speaking of impact factors, it also helps the journal. If your article is cited a lot, it helps the journal's impact factor. And believe me, editors know which articles have gotten a lot of citations and which help their impact factor. So when they see another article come through with your name on it, they're going to think, oh boy, good deal.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the elements then of an effective title?
Okay, studies have shown that shorter article titles are better. So you don't want your article title to take up the half of the first page. The sweet spot seems to be between 10 and 15 words. You should also put keywords in your title. So pick keywords out of your article and make sure that they're a part of your title so that researchers can find your article when they're looking for articles to cite, because they're going to search by keywords. You should avoid abbreviations and jargon because you want your article to be searchable, to be able to be found easily by people from all kind of disciplines, not just people in your field. I think every field has its own little pool of jargon, and the people within that field understand what it means. Like, you know, try to talk to a lawyer or a tax attorney, you have no idea what they're talking about. It's the same way within medical fields, within gastroenterology in our instance, but it's important that other people from outside your field be able to find your articles. So avoid abbreviations, avoid jargon, and help people find your article more easily. Punctuation is also important. They have found that commas and semicolons are fine, but articles are cited less frequently if they contain question marks and exclamation points.
Interesting.
So avoid those, and also avoid specific geographic references within your title. You don't want people to think, oh, this only affects France, so I'm just going to flip past it. Obviously, if your article is specifically about something to do with a country, then you can include it, but try to avoid it if possible.
And how do you feel about humor or puns in the title?
Oh, interesting. They're best avoided. Really, the title should reflect the article itself, and in scholarly publishing, your article is going to be formal. So your title should be formal too. You don't want somebody to buy your article and then find that it has nothing to do with what the title seemed to be. So make sure it is formal and clear. And in GIE, for instance, our editorials tend to be less formal, so you will find that we have sometimes some puns in the editorial titles. Sometimes they have question marks, exclamation points, but we never do that with original articles because we want them to truly reflect what the article is about.
Makes sense. And then what about anything additional that you think an author should keep in mind when they are creating their title?
Okay, the article, the title should be grammatical. It should be spelled correctly and punctuated correctly. It's really important that you follow the journal's guidelines and that you just keep in mind the tone of the article, and your title should really reflect that. It should be clear, it should contain the keywords, it should be written as clearly as you possibly can. I mean, don't get to the end of all your research and you've written your article and then think, oh, I have to think of a title, and just slap something down. Give it some thought, give it some consideration. And if the editors of the journal suggest that perhaps they would like to change it or tweak it a little bit, don't be offended. Just know that they have the experience and they know how to make a good title and what fits their journal and what will get you the most citations, which is going to help you and the journal in the long run.
That's very excellent advice. I'd like to thank Deborah for joining us for this interview and for sharing some important tips about creating an effective title. For our viewers, I'd like to encourage you to find out some more information about this by reading Deborah's article. It's in the April issue of Editorial Office News, found at ismte.org. So thank you, viewers, and thank you again, Deborah.
Thank you, Stephanie. This has been enjoyable. Thank you.